What's up, y'all? Welcome. Now, this video, I want to talk about Las Vegas. This isn't a video of positivity either, so don't get to expecting nothing. And I want to state the obvious off top, is that I'm not like most people, and I never have been like most people. You know, that causes a certain kind of difficulty when you're younger, but now that I'm older, I'm just getting to learn more about myself. And for people out there, I just want to let y'all know, like when you get older, you learn more about yourself, and things that was important to you when you were younger just not important no more. It's all a matter of maturity. So I'm good now, right? Now, I'm going to talk about Las Vegas and if it's good to live here. I say mostly not, because I believe that in this world, you got to take the good with the bad. You get what I'm saying? It's mandatory. So the way I judge things, whether something's good or bad, you know what I'm saying, evil or righteous, you know, the way I judge it, it's a matter of scaling. Which one is it lean on? If you lean more on the evil side, then you're a raggedy person. If you lean more on the good side, then you're a solid person. You know what I'm saying? Good, evil. All right. Now, the thing about Las Vegas is that it's exciting to those who are outsiders. A lot of folks don't even know about what Las Vegas is and what it's about. Um, so when they come here as tourists, they only see the tourist side of the city. But when you stay here in Las Vegas, you really become a resident or a local, then it's a whole different deal. All right. Now, Las Vegas is a city, and it's a big city. I'm from St. Paul, Minnesota. I'm from a small city, but I never been in many cities. I was raised there. I had left I was born in San Francisco, California. Left there when I was about 5. I think I had my 6th birthday in Minnesota. And I stayed there 12 years, 13 years until I was 18. And I moved down to Vegas in 2010, turned 19 here, and I've been here ever since. Wasted 10 summers of my life. Speaking of, let's go into that. That's the first thing. Las Vegas summers, it's the desert. All right. The bottom part of the state of Nevada is the Sahara Desert. The top part is the Great Basin or the Great Basin. All right. So up there near Tahoe and Reno and other things like that, they have other cities like that. They have real winters and stuff like that. All right. They have lakes and water. We live in a desert. There isn't any real water here except for Lake Mead and probably a couple who knows what random ponds and stuff. But I'm from Minnesota. I'm from a land of 10,000 lakes. So I'm used to being human. I'm used to a bunch of mosquitoes and flies being around. And I'm used to having access to water. So that's the first thing. It'd be so hot in Vegas, man. You could barely even live. I mean, it'd be hot as dirt. I wouldn't exaggerate it. On average, it's 104 degrees in the summertime. So I'll tell you how it goes. When it comes to spring, spring is upper 70s, lower 80s. That's spring. So that's basically March to about May. All right, then from May to about June, that's all you get. Then no, yeah. So I say March to about end of May, early June. So March to June. March to June is gonna be upper 70s and 80s, 80s and 70s and 80s. And then the spring is 70s, 80s, and then it gets to cooking, it gets to touching the 90s in June. And then by the time the end of June swings around, it's full summer, and then it just goes to 90s very fast. It skips over the 90s, goes straight to hundreds, and it's hundreds all the way until September. It's hot as dirt out here. I mean, it's really hot. You from the hours of 10 a.m. to about 5:30 p.m. during the summer that's a dead zone. That is no man's land. You don't want to be out here just trying to those are not times of leisure, okay? You got to be a certain kind of warrior to be out here in Las Vegas during the summer. You got to be hydrated, whatever it is. Actually, this ain't even a good idea to be drinking during the summer in Las Vegas. This is orange juice, right? And I had poured some cranberry juice in there. So I poured some cranberry juice inside my orange juice. That's what this is. But with all the sugar in here, you don't want to hit nothing like this and go out there in the summer in Las Vegas. You ain't going to be straight. Your mouth going to be sticky. You're going to be thirsty as dirt. You got to freeze your water before you go out there, because if you try to bring some cold water without it being frozen, or some warm water out there into that Las Vegas heat, you're going to have some hot water. That water going to be hot enough for you to take a bath in. So It'd be too hot. That's one of the things I don't like about Las Vegas. The falls are very beautiful though. Okay, and then like I said, till 5:30, but it's still hot until about 7. So about 7 o'clock, actually about 6 to 7 ish. That's when everybody starts doing their little fun time, and it's beautiful. Las Vegas has some very beautiful sunsets. All right, so the pictures that you will see on my YouTube channel, my cover picture, that sky, that's not a drawing. I took that in Las Vegas. I got other ones like it too. So Las Vegas, it has some beautiful nights, but it still be like 100 at night. But the sun isn't out there killing you. That sun, this Las Vegas sun is out for blood. This Las Vegas sun, this mug, you trying to claim lives. I caught a couple people out here on the side of the road trying to play that drinking during the summer stuff with no water. I had bought a couple people some waters and helped them out with stuff because they was out here dehydrated. It's not uncommon either. It is not uncommon. People be out here. Ambulance be having to pull up on people for being dehydrated. It is hot as dirt out here, and it's a dry, sticky kind of hot. Man, I'm telling you, it's hot. And then the whatchamacallits, right? The fall is kind of like this. Actually, I lied. The spring is 80s and 90s. The falls is 70s and 80s, and then the summer is hundreds, and then the winters are lower 50s, higher 30s, so that's a good relief. But when it's hot, it's hot. I'm telling you, when it's hot, it's hot. I will not lie to you about this, all right? So that's one thing I don't like about Las Vegas, and that's one thing that most people don't like about Las Vegas, how hot it is, because it's the desert, okay? Now, another thing about Las Vegas is that people don't understand truly is that this is a tourist town. That's its primary industry. Other cities, they have whatever industry that they have. They have the casinos here, and everybody's an employee. And it makes it hard for you to make your own money because they don't have any state tax, but they have all these work cards that you have to get. If you want to work a job, you got to get a card. If you want to start a business, $200 business license, you got to go get this bond. You got to apply for a fictitious firm name. You got to do all this stuff because it's a monopoly out here. The casinos want to have all the money, which they already do. But they don't want you making your own money. They want everybody working for the casinos or working for some other place like the gas stations or Walgreens or Walmart. You know what I'm saying? Having a small business here, you could do your thing, but they make it really hard. Because if you try to start a business without having a proper licensing and you get a fine, that fine will probably shut down your business because you don't even have the money to pay the fine, okay? So it's very corrupt here. And on top of the employment and the economy, it's all about who you know. It's all about who you know. It's not about what you can do. It's not about what you did. It's not about who's good at what. It's not about right or wrong. It's about who you know. And they have a lot of stupid people in positions of power in Las Vegas. They really do. And I ain't scared to say it. And a lot of people in Las Vegas, that's another thing. It's a big disconnection. It's hard to make friends here because a lot of people are really stupid. The statistics on Las Vegas education when it comes to high school, it was the upper 60s, okay? So it was like 67% of people in the state of Nevada that actually finished high school. So if you want to be kind and round that up, that means only 7 out of 10 people finish high school in Nevada, and it's even worse in Las Vegas. So that means 3 out of 10 people that you cross paths with couldn't even finish the high school, couldn't even get a high school diploma, didn't even go do anything about it. And a couple years ago, what they did was they had removed the proficiency test. The test that you take to test out of high school. The science, the math, the reading, those tests that you take before you graduate high school. They took those out. No more of those because people were too stupid to pass them. Nevada has one of the worst school districts in the nation. So we have some of the dumbest people here, and everybody knows it. But guess what? When everybody's stupid, what you gonna say? It's just part of the culture, right? And then that's the people who make the decisions. Those are the people who try to stun on people because it's like if you work for the casinos or you make a decent amount of money, then people get this egotistical pride, right? And then it makes them think that they're more than they are. Shoot. In another study, this study is from like 2013, 70% of Americans don't even have $1,000 in their bank account saved up for emergency purposes. Okay, so that means that 70% of Americans don't have $1,000 in their bank account saved up for emergency purchases. So that means no matter what you see people driving around and or what they think they're doing, nobody's really stunting on nobody in America. Most folks don't have $1,000 tucked away. It don't matter how much money they make. You know what happens? Because they get different kind of cars. You gotta drive this car. You gotta live in this neighborhood. You gotta hang around them people. You gotta do this and you gotta do that. Speaking of, that's another point. I was talking to one of the OGs when I had first got down here, and he was talking to me about his homeboys and how something. I'm like, what's up with the place and everything, and kicking it and hanging out in Las Vegas. He's like, man, when people got too much money from me. I'm like, I heard that straight up. And that's another thing. People think that if you're going to be living in Las Vegas, that you're going to be partying and going to the casinos. Not the ones on the strip. The casinos downtown are more for locals. And then you have the station casinos. The station casinos is a chain of casinos, and the locals go there. Where they have like $5 blackjack, where you go there and spend $9, $10, $11, $12, $13 to eat at the buffet. Where you could go get you a movie, go bowling. And that's another thing I'm going to get into at the end of the video when I get to me talking about me personally living in Las Vegas. All right? But all that strip stuff, no, you can't go down on the strip and be trying to kick it like the tourists do and still live here. You ain't going to have no rent money. You get what I'm saying? Because like I said, it's all about who you know. So when it comes to certain jobs, good jobs, if you don't know nobody, you probably don't get it. You know what I'm saying? And then there's some people, there's some solid people in Las Vegas. But what I found is that most of the people that I found who kept it real or who were solid people in Las Vegas, they came from somewhere else. Most likely Midwest or from the East Coast, like Boston, New York, or you know what I'm saying, right? Like not like whatchamacallit, what's the other one? Illinois and stuff like that. From over there where I'm from Minnesota. But a lot of folks that I met that were really cool here and actually had some sense, they weren't Las Vegas natives. And then some people from California, but not from LA. I met some cool people from California, but they weren't from LA. I met some cool people from LA, but I'm just saying, majority of people that I've met that were cool in Las Vegas, they were Ohio. That's the state. Met a lot of people from Ohio and Las Vegas that was cool. And then a lot of people that I met that were cool from other places. You know what I'm saying? You know how it is when you don't see somebody for a while and it's either a good thing or a bad thing in my book, right? So I'm like, what happened to homegirl? What happened to homeboy? And they like, oh yeah, homegirl, homeboy. They went back to New York. They went back to Ohio. They went back to Northern California. They went back to here. Because they said, man, folks come to Las Vegas and they get a whiff of this culture. It's not the place. It's the culture. It's the people. It's the way the thing's designed that why people hate it. If you want to come here and have fun, bring your own, come on through. Straight up, straight up. But if you're looking to be in a city or a community or a place where you could be comfortable and don't have to worry about nothing, this ain't the place for you, okay? Because the politics is too strong here when it comes down to job placement and stuff like that. And plus, you always going to have to deal with an idiot. Now, like another thing I was going to say about culture is that this is a city of vice. This truly is Sin City. The spiritual atmosphere is heavy. People carry spirits. A lot of people don't know that when you do drugs, you open your body up to spirits. You got a lot of people in here got a lot of people in Las Vegas that's on drugs. Everywhere you go, there's a crackhead. And you know what? I don't care what you do. If the drug you do is white or off-white, you're a crackhead. I don't do crack. I don't do meth. I don't do none of that. I don't have to classify your drug, okay? If the drug you do is white or off-white, you're a crackhead. If you smoke weed, you're a pothead. If you drink alcohol, if you drink liquor, you're an alcoholic. And of course, if you have the addiction, right? Right. So everywhere you go, there's a crackhead because that's just what it is. And people try to correct me. Oh, nobody smokes crack no more. I don't care. I don't smoke crack. I don't need to classify it, all right? Now look, check this one out, though. The worst areas in Las Vegas are the areas surrounding the Strip in downtown. Las Vegas Boulevard itself is the Strip, and it runs from north to south, all the way out to the South Point, actually all the way out to Prim to the border. From Nellis Air Force Base to the border by Prim Valley on the border of California and Nevada. That's how far Las Vegas Boulevard runs. And until you go super far south, like out there by South Point and Blue Diamond, and there still could be some sketchy folks out there because there's still a casino, you know. But down here by the Strip where all the major casinos are that people know about, like the MGM Grand, the Bellagio, Caesar's Palace, Planet Hollywood, the Flamingo, and Bally's, all those casinos. Yes. Go east or west in any direction off the Strip, and it's the worst areas in Las Vegas. The same thing with Fremont, and I live downtown. I see crackheads and homeless people every day, and you know what? It's not that funny. You know why? Because these people are really out here struggling. Really out here. Heck yeah. And some of the crackheads and all that, they could be your co-workers. And some of the crackheads, they got good jobs. They're the higher ups at the casinos. They living well. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever they do. But that's another thing that people get wrong about it. This place is pretty raggedy and it's pretty dirty too. And the way people treat each other is like people hate each other. There's a thing that people do in Las Vegas that if they don't like you for some reason, the first thing they want to see you is fired from your job. People will lie, make up stories, and you know how it goes. Whoever tells the story first is most likely to be believed. It happens to me. It happens to others. People, they could just be having a bad day, and it don't matter what you say or do say. They just try to get your manager and try to get you fired from the job. And other people be trying to believe it. And for real, the culture is bad because the people, and that's just one of my general philosophies of life. I believe that the earth itself is a very beautiful place. I really do. I feel like the problem with people, with the earth, is people. It's us. You know what I'm saying? Animals are simple. You know what I'm saying? They hunt, they prey, they reproduce, same cycle, die, whatever. As far as the earth goes, the earth does damage to herself with natural disasters like tornadoes and hurricanes. It's only a disaster if human lives are affected or if there is a big geographical. Only if the earth hurts itself in an area that us humans view as inhabitable. Like if a tornado tears up a place, even though nobody will live in the area, if a tornado drops down and tears up a place, then you're like, that's a disaster because we needed that forest or we needed those woods. But other than that, other than humans and natural disasters, other than animals and natural disasters, it's us humans. We're the problem. Okay? And I understand the influence. Believe me, I understand the influence of the devil. I understand the influence of demons and devils. I understand the influence of evil spirits. But I'm telling you, a lot of people in this world, before any of that, when God had brought the first flood, right, of Noah, he said, I looked down and the imaginations in the heart of the people were always evil. People are always trying to blame the devil for something. The devil has a lot of influence, but he can't make you do nothing. It's us people. And Las Vegas is an example of those people who are just no good. There's a lot of no good people in Las Vegas. I'm telling you, a lot of people that I meet that are good, they're from somewhere else. I meet some people that are from Las Vegas and they cool, and I'm like, dude, you're an anomaly. You're irregular. And I meet these people, and it's crazy. So another thing that I want to say, I think that's enough in the negativity because there's not too much positivity happening here. No state tax. The state of Nevada is like 80% federally owned, right? Like 80% federally owned, the state of Nevada. But they don't have any help because some of these people, they out here on the streets, they're homeless, they doing these drugs, but some of them, they have real mental disorders that are that they could be actually in an institution for. They have schizophrenia. They have all this stuff, but the casinos makes millions of dollars. I worked in the casinos. I worked in the smaller casinos in the count room. We'll go to the we'll go to a machine, take one box out with money, put an empty box in, and then we'll take all the boxes with money, take them back to the count room, count them up. We just count millions of dollars every day, hundreds of thousands of dollars every day. I'm telling you, these casinos have money. They don't use it to help nobody. They don't. They don't do nothing. They put it all in their pockets. They're greedy like that. And another thing I want to say is that Vegas is top 10 for all the bad categories you could think of. It's like number 2 when it comes to stress in the nation. I'm talking about major cities. Las Vegas is number 2 when it comes to stress stress. Number 2 most stressful city in the nation. When it comes to STDs, top 5. Number 1 in syphilis specifically. Las Vegas is number 1 with syphilis specifically. It's top 10 drug overdoses. People dying and just overdosing. It's top 10 worst education. Okay? I'm telling you, Nevada, Las Vegas is not a good place to live unless you're the type of person who just bypass all of that. One thing that Las Vegas does have, it has a lot of parks. You go outside and work out and do things like that when the sun sets, when it's not so hot. Another thing you go do is go to the casinos. The casinos, you could usually get you a movie in there. And you could go bowling and you could drink in there if you want to. You could have some fun at the casinos, but don't get to putting that money in that slot too many times. You go broke. Straight up. There is a lot of job opportunities out here, but like I said, it's about who you know, and then some people be trying to screw you over on the job for who knows what reason. The public transportation is doable, but it takes like an hour and a half to get anywhere on the bus. Let me think. Those are the only positivities I could think of. But if you keep to yourself and mind your business, you have to deal with all of this stuff and just hopefully nobody takes it too seriously. Oh yeah, in Las Vegas, the people, they talk a lot of disrespectful stuff, man. I'm telling you, I thought I was gonna have to fight these people all the time. I'd be ready to slap the taste out some people's mouth down here. The kind of things that they say to other grown folks is like, how do you even, like, what are you doing out here acting like that? These people are very disrespectful, but the positivities that you could get outside, and the casinos got food, they got bowling. Oh yeah, they got pool halls. A lot of bars got pools in it, pool tables. And then that's pretty much it if you ask me. Like I said, I don't party, I don't do none of that stuff. I be working out, shoot. You know me. You watch my YouTube channel. With that being said, I personally say that Las Vegas is a hype job. It's not a good city. It's a raggedy place, and it's because of the people. It's not the buildings. The desert would be much more manageable if you ain't have these freaking retards in Vegas pissing you off. It's already hot, and then people are trying to get on your nerves. Man, that ain't gonna work. All right, Las Vegas isn't a good city if you ask me, but whatever, man. Outro.